Welcome back to the Resilience Pod, the podcast helping you become resilient in our world full of disruptions. I'm your host, Rina Singh. Today we have an exceptional guest, a performer, a coach, a TEDx speaker, and someone who used to be a Madonna impersonator. She is going to challenge everything you think you know about resilience. It's not just about pushing forward, it's about pleasure, adaptability, and bending like a bamboo. Now, before we dive in, ask yourself, is resilience really pressure in today's world, or is it something else entirely? Welcome to the Resilience Pod, Evelyne Brink.
Thank you so much. Okay, no pressure at all here now to deliver.
Pleasure only.
Total pleasure on questioning everything you ever thought you knew.
I love that. Listen, I'm super, I know I say this a lot. This is a really exciting episode for all of us because I know you're just going to challenge all the thinking, all the questions, because you've done that so far. So we're going to start with this word resilience. The podcast is called Resilience Pod. We use resilience all the time. People say you're the most resilient person they know, but we will touch on that after. We want to talk about the word and the definition of resilience, because when we've spoken before, you've told me you don't like the definition of resilience. Talk to me about that.
Sure. So resilience means to bounce back, if we're going by the Latin translation. And there's nothing wrong with bouncing back, except that it's the idea of going back to some sort of baseline. And it's got something for me, something static, even though there is a movement. But it's a movement to where we've already been, where I am a believer in moving forward.
Okay.
I am a stand for evolution, for development. So resilience and the idea of just going back to where you were, I find utterly boring. Resilience is also often used as a plaster term for strength, grit, withstanding the storm. And that's definitely where I'm going to dig into that concept, because it just doesn't serve us very well, in my opinion.
I love that. I don't think anyone's ever told me that, I don't like the definition of this. It should be something completely different. Or I think it's that. So I like that. Guys, what do you think, who are listening or watching? Do you agree with this? Now, a fluffy question, so I'm just switching things around. If resilience was a texture, a sound or feeling, what is it for you?
Well, if it was a texture, and so we're talking resilience in the term that I like to see, not the old one.
Yes, and not business terms. Okay, go on.
Well, the old one, the bounce back is a dong, 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 one of these bouncy balls. And the way that I see resilience, which is a more sustainable, regenerative approach, we will talk about in a minute, that I'm leaning on the bamboo grove. I think the texture would be, silk, because it's durable and strong, but super soft and sensual. And fluid without being liquid. Yeah. The feeling, did you say feeling as well, right?
Yes, feeling, yeah.
There you go. Breathing, spacious. And the sound, I'm going to give you bamboo rustling in the wind.
I absolutely
ASMR demonstration.
Yeah, funnily enough, we were just talking about that. Okay, so if someone wanted to practice this new version of resilience, what's one small thing they could do to start?
Well, we haven't really talked much about that new version of resilience just yet. So let me give a little summary on that. Okay. My new version of resilience is think rather than rigid withholding, think more into sustainable approach, think into regenerative approach, think into expansion, development, evolution. So if my version of resilience is actually evolving with, we can say the pressure, we can say challenging times, growing with challenging times, that's what I'm interested in talking about resilience, then a practice could be so basic, you're going to hate me.
Go on, try me.
It's called breathing, but not just like everybody says, just breathe deeper. Now, when we're under stress and under pressure, we tend to not breathe deep, right? Or when we're excited.
Yes.
So if I want an expansion, if I want a moment, I need to breathe out, not in. So if you try this for fun.
Okay, go on, let's do it.
Breathe out or push air out, all the way out, until there's none left. And then you feel your belly going in, doesn't it? And then relax your belly. Can you feel how the air just drops into you?
Yes.
And then relax afterwards. No need to hold. That's how you reset the diaphragm. That's how you expand. That's how you reset your diaphragmatic breathing. Everybody's telling you to do. You can't actually do that on purpose. Newsflash. Yeah. Because the diaphragm is a reactive muscle, not a consciously movable one. But if you push the air out and then relax, air comes in and you can chill. So given that my version of resilience will be about regenerating energy, thriving,
I like that,
recovering, this would be a very simple first step.
Well, I wasn't expecting you to say that. Give us some breathing exercises. But I do like that. Look, we like to switch things up. So this is definitely, I told the audience you're going to challenge our way of thinking. So yeah, definitely. Now I want to, in my introduction to you, I said that I alluded to bamboo.
Mm-hmm.
And
Madonna.
Yes, and Madonna, but we will talk about that. Does she look like Madonna anyway? Not the point of resilience.
Well,
you've used the metaphors. The oak breaks, the bamboo bends in a lot of your articles on LinkedIn whilst we're talking and talks that you do. Explain what you mean by that.
Happily.
Yeah.
So I've developed a framework around bamboo thinking TM. And so the way that I work with resilience is talking about an old style of resilience, which is the oak resilience or oak leadership, and a new forward thinking method, which is bamboo thinking.
Okay.
TM, because we like the TMs.
Yes,
so
of course.
What does that mean?
Yeah.
The traditional way that people think about resilience is withstanding the storm, being strong. How can we be more resilient? That generally means how can we be stronger together or as a company or individually. There's a lot on that, right?
Yes.
Which reminds us of an oak tree. Strong, deeply rooted in the ground, traditional, hard, but also rigid. Right? And so when the storm is big enough, what happens to the oak tree? Uprooted, snaps, falls down.
Yeah.
Whereas bamboo is a really modern way of looking at resilience. So what does bamboo do?
Right.
Bamboo bends. Bamboo is flexible, adaptable. It bends in the wind. It's incredibly versatile.
Yeah.
Right? You can use bamboo to make very hard furniture. So it is very strong. It's not just about bending over or bending backwards. In fact, when we talk about bending, I want to make it known that it's more about adaptability. Bend it like Beckham. Adjust the methods for the trajectory.
Okay.
Right? Adjust so you can get to the goal in a different way. Go with the flow. Go with the wind. Not bend over backwards. Just that's really important. So bamboo is versatile. Bamboo is flexible. I have these three pillars that it's rooted in a different way than oak. So oak, we said, is a strong root downwards, and I'm all for it. It's beautiful. But bamboo has rhizomes and lots of little roots that are interconnected. So the roots of bamboo are about network.
Okay.
Aha.
Yeah.
So what if we looked at resilience about our network, about spreading resources, about a collective, a community? Now we're going to get into a different kind of mindset. And I think that's really, really helpful, especially in the kind of times we're living in.
Yeah, and you're talking our business language for resilience here, so I just love that.
Marvelous. Okay. Rhizomes. So rhizomes, the connected roots, the interconnectedness, the network is about the rootedness. That's the first R. Then we have F for flexibility. Okay. And that's what the bamboo bending piece meant. That's the idea of what if we learn to be more agile? Yeah. And I think that's the kind of thinking we need in VUCA times, right? Right now we're in heavy disruption, whereas the oak leadership has its value and purpose, but it fitted much better in stable conditions.
Right.
Gotcha, right. If we want to not just withstand, but thrive in the winds of change, we need something new. And this is where the bamboo thinking comes in. And the last part of this is regenerative. Now, if a bamboo stalk gets hurt or cut, you know what happens? Another shoot is being sent up from the ground really quickly. It grows so fast. Some bamboo pieces, sorry, I'm a bit nerdy, but they can grow up to some do a meter in a day. I mean, that's crazy. But they grow very fast. Let's keep it this way. And they keep a lot more carbon as well than oaks. Now, it's not a competition. It's just to see that if I think about resilience as an oak tree, I have one way of looking at it. If I look at resilience as a bamboo grove, I have a whole different paradigm. Yes. So what if we were thinking more into the regenerative idea? What does it take for people and businesses to build a regenerative culture, a culture that is focused on regrowth, re-energizing, thriving, being well over a longer period of time, because we know how to renew. What becomes possible now? And why are you laughing?
Because my follow-up question to you was going to be, do you think there's vulnerability and like being flexible, could that be seen as a bad thing, or it's not quite resilient? But I feel like you've answered that question by default by explaining the whole bamboo philosophy, and if it breaks, it grows back, and that just, I mean, prove me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong.
I think what you've just brought in is really brilliant, because people in business have fears around vulnerability.
Yes.
And so if you think, okay, if you are in a traditional style business in oak leadership, then the idea of being vulnerable is breaking down weakness. You're breaking down on the pressure. Oh, don't do it. Like, stay strong. And I'll happily give you some personal stories on this one as well. But if we're looking at the paradigm of bamboo, where it is about going with the wind, going with the change, being allowed to adapt and to be flexible, then we could also say that an emotional fluidity would be part of the deal. And have you ever heard the term emotional fluidity? Isn't it beautiful?
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and it describes so much so quickly, right?
Tell us.
Well, as a human being, I don't just live in one or two emotions. I live on a spectrum of all emotions.
Yes.
So the term emotional fluidity gives permission to ride the entire spectrum. And that's normal. Not, what's wrong with you? You're crying.
You need to trademark that. I love
that. Already exists, but it's something
I'd
happily like to.
I do like that. I think we need to use that terminology.
Yes. I'll give you a couple of words I absolutely love.
Yep, go on.
I love emotional fluidity. I love regenerative leadership.
Yeah.
Oh, isn't that so sexy? The idea of regenerative leadership is literally the opposite of this oak-style traditional leadership.
Yeah.
That we build a paradigm around the idea of how can we build a culture that supports itself. Think about the bamboo grove.
Yeah.
Supports each other, nurtures. Like in bamboo, the sugar is being exchanged through the root network. With traditional trees, they need fungi. They stand for themselves, and then they have a network, the wood wide web, as they now call it. But the bamboo does it within itself. It's got an intranet system. And so every company should have an intranet system. Every person should have the community as an intranet system that we can be with each other.
It's the roots of resilience.
Yeah, there you go. It's a different way of looking at the roots of resilience. Yeah.
I like that. Anyway, that's something that I always talk about in when I talk about my own resilience, at the foundations and the roots. But this is about you.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Okay.
And not about what I think at this point. I like that you've mentioned about this oak versus bamboo. Do you, or have you ever wished that you were like the oak instead in any part of your life?
Yes, anytime I want to have a wider outlook. I'm tiny.
Darn it, I'm so positive. Why?
I'm really small, and the idea of being really tall is sometimes quite appealing. Of course, I mean, who wouldn't if we go into this? But the question is metaphorical, right?
Yeah,
so you were asking me, did I ever wish I was
the oak,
more like
oak? Yeah.
Yes, you know what? I would, because I'm speaking about the idea of bamboo versus oak, like it's always been a natural thought in my consciousness. Obviously, it hasn't. And our world is much more built around rigid structures than it is making space for flexible, wacky little systems, shall we say. So have I thought, gosh, I wish I was different? I wish I was like other people. Gosh, I wish I could be okay with all these traditional values and foundations and talk the corporate language and go to a job and just be what we call normal. Yeah, sure, many times, but I'm not. I'm different like that. And funny enough, the more that I speak in the way that I do, the more people come to the forefront and said, you know what, me too.
Yes.
Some of us are just better pretending that we aren't.
Yeah. Quite right.
So there is that.
I love that. Yeah. Oh, actually, I really wasn't expecting you to say that, actually. I thought you were going to say, no, I never wish I'd be the oak.
Yeah, I'm okay with myself all the time. I love myself. I'm like 100%.
Yeah, look, this is a new philosophy, new analogy you've brought into our audience, especially those of us who work in business resilience. And we are centered around personal as well here. So if we want to shift our mindset from that old oak analogy leadership type of style to this more flexible bamboo, what can we do? What's one thing we can do to start shifting our mindset towards that?
Well, if we just think about one step, we're kind of still in that rigid idea that everything is a step from one A to B, right?
Yes,
we're
that is a good point.
Catching ourselves in there. Let me tell you a little story, and then I'll share with you how I think the shift can happen. Okay. So the idea of being strong as the way to be resilient is very common. When I was a girl, back in the day when I was really young and pretty. So when I gave birth,
still are.
Thank you, darling. So when I gave birth, my son was in hospital and had to stay there because I was told that he wasn't going to live. And so he lived, well, he's still alive, but we were in the intensive care for around 6 months. And intensive care is intense. That's why they call it that way, right?
Yeah.
So people said, be strong for your baby a lot. There was a lot of talk of like, I've got to be strong for my baby.
It's a very common saying, isn't
right?
it?
Very common saying.
You're right.
And so I lived there. I saw it day to day. I saw it with a lot of people. And my perspective is different on this. Okay, first of all, what does that even mean, be strong for your baby?
Yeah.
Most people that I talked to thought it means don't cry.
Yeah.
Don't break down and cry. Don't show you're upset. Be okay. Show them it's good and it's fine. Who? Hands up. Everyone hands up if you think you're fine when your baby is in intensive care.
Yeah.
Okay. You're not fine. The baby's not fine. Can we just be honest with it?
Yeah.
Is it hugely upsetting? Yeah. So my philosophy around being with a child or any human really is try and be as honest as you dare. So for me, it was completely okay. And in fact, the right thing to do to cry when I was upset, to smile when I was happy, and to show my child all of that is normal. And mommy is not some sort of stone. Mommy is not a stone. Mommy's not an oak tree.
Yeah.
I'm a human. And so I'm upset. I'm crying. I do this. I do that. And I like to think that I helped other people seeing this because the idea of be strong for your baby is not only nonsense because you won't last. The baby is gaslit.
Yes.
Because you're telling your baby it's fine when it's not fine.
Yeah.
And what do children pick up on? Your language and pretense or the energy underneath?
Yeah, totally the energy underneath.
Nobody would deny that.
Absolutely, yeah.
So, and if that's true, why would we start lying to our baby on day one? Makes no sense, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to bring this story to show why what I call this bamboo resilience just makes sense. It's about the fluidity. It's about an honesty. It's about a transparency. And that is that there's a trust that, okay, I'm very big on the regenerative, right?
Yeah.
So let's talk about resilience and the regenerative.
Yeah.
I can't weather every storm. When I was told that my kid wasn't going to live, it's not like, okay, fine, I will be strong with that. Don't worry. I'm not going to read books about how to be strong when you're told your kid is going to die. Like that's not do you see how it just misses the point?
It does, yeah.
What if it also missed the point a little bit in business that we're always thinking about being strong rather than how can we grow better through challenge? How do we use challenge as opportunity to grow? How do we use VUCA times as an opportunity to win? Because guess what? There's always winners somewhere. Is it just the people who hold on to their traditional values?
Yeah.
Or is it the people who have fresh ideas and do modern stuff?
Yeah. The latter.
Oh, thank goodness.
You're like, is she going to answer that
Please,
bloody
I would have
question?
derailed the whole thing. Okay, so if that's true, I'm making a really strong case for this idea of regenerative bamboo thinking.
Yeah.
What is one way that we can start doing that? It is that we, allow ourselves to be real. Right? And then start shifting the attention into what is, I love that word, but I need to start using other ones, regenerative. So what rebuilds me?
Yeah.
Let's talk about personal resilience. So I am a single mother with 2 children who were both born with health challenges. My son, I already said, my daughter had 4 heart defects. I'm single. I run a business on my own. I feed a family in London and I had my own health challenges. People say to me, you're the most resilient person I ever met. I'm like, I don't know what that means. But what I think it means is I'm still here.
And you didn't break down and go off the rails. You're here and you're showing people, you're showing up for people. I think that's what
I love that you're saying I haven't gone off the rails. I mean, I think some people would beg to differ. Yeah.
Look, I want you to hold that thought because we're going to touch into that a bit later on. And I want to delve deeper into that. Not the details, but how you've managed to kind of be this way that you are despite all those challenges. But I want to talk about...
Madonna. No. Comedy. No.
Go on. Talk to me about
Gummy
Madonna.
bears.
Go on.
Which
go on.
Madonna?
Yeah, go on.
What can I tell you about Madonna?
Very quickly, 60 seconds.
So I was known as Europe's #1 Madonna impersonator, as seen on TV.
Cannot
Vogue.
believe it.
You can Google it. I was not always great, but I became pretty good at it, I guess. I've been on the cover of magazines. I've traveled the world. Yeah. And what on earth does Madonna have to do with you being an executive coach, with teaching people how to speak confidently under pressure and build lives? What? Okay, I'll tell you, it has everything to do with it.
Yeah, okay.
And this is the beautiful thing. So you grow from your roots, you grow with everything. Everything that you do is part of who you are, and the way that I think is informed by what I've done. So Madonna is a embodiment of confidence. She's an embodiment of reinvention. Has she had to withstand, if you want to talk in old terms, the storms of change? Has she had to withstand attacks and criticism? Yes. So she's actually a fantastic example. But how did she withstand? By staying the one thing that she's always been? No, she reinvented herself again and again and again. So she's super relevant, actually. Plus, she's always been forward thinking, and she changed the entire music industry and the opportunities women have had since she came in. So how does a Madonna impersonator become an executive coach? Yeah. Well, if you look through all the things that I've done in my life, and I've been performing, and I've been an actress since I was 5 years old, and I've been performing. I've had my own one-woman shows from the age of 18 in cabaret theater, so just me and a pianist, and I love that. It's all about expression for me. Expression is the red thread. And so nowadays I help leaders find their voice. I help them express it confidently and authentically under pressure. And I help them build the lives that they love from it. Resilience is the underlying foundation that feeds through everything. And it's something I'm personally hugely familiar with because my life has been, how do we call it? Crazy. And the whole Madonna piece informs all the different strands, right? From confidence to getting back up when you're down, to even using it as a way of expressing myself. Let's put it this way. When I had the costume on, I could do things I didn't dare to do as Evelyne. I could really let out this superstar, I'm the shit, as they say, out, which I felt a bit embarrassed because who do you think you are? So I was more prepared to take a who do you think you are wearing cones than who do you think you are as Evelyne, which is a different, interesting conversation.
I feel like all that experience you've gone through, like all the challenges that you've mentioned, like with your family, with yourself, doing all these types of different careers, really sets you in that unique position to be that executive coach and that authenticity piece to really challenge thinking. And I know we've had conversations about that. You really challenged some of my thinking. I was like, oh gosh, I'm not really sure how to answer that. I don't even know what I want. So I've got experience in that. Tell us, like, what does that coaching look like? Plug it for us.
Plug it for us. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
how can you help transform people with your coaching?
In 3 steps, obviously, right? Here's my blueprint. I've developed the ALIVE method, actually. Okay. So ALIVE stands for awareness, language, identity, voice, and energy. And when those 5, let's count, those 5 elements work and dance together, we're bringing out an actually really resilient person in a business. And so how do I help leaders? I help them take their pressure and turn it into strength, into power. So if anyone comes to me, they usually bring something that really has them hold back or crumble. And I flip the script with them and help them how to turn that into your power. So in my opinion, anything that's at the moment the piece that you think you need to hide from the world has real great seeds of strength and power in it. And when you integrate them into your being, anything is possible.
And that leads me to this saying that you have, pleasure-led power. Tell me about that.
Okay. Wow.
Why? I can't wait, because it's like, why pleasure? Why resilience? Why pleasure-led power? It's not two words you really associate with each other naturally.
Maybe that's why I like it.
That. Okay, go
right.
on.
That's why we like it.
Yeah, I'm taking notes.
Let's talk about pleasure for a minute, because we're talking about resilience. How am I still standing with all that it has happened and is still happening to me? Or in my life.
And also, before you carry on, I want to say that you've built your whole business at a time when you were going through like the worst things imaginable in your life. And that's really important for the audience to
understand. They want to know, what is it? What is it?
Yeah. So you share as much and whatever you want to with the focus on pleasure-led power.
Okay. So I built my business when, I had to build my business back up. I moved out from the family home and I went through divorce, which is such a common thing to do nowadays. The challenge was that it was as they say, acrimonious situation. And I think that's where we leave it because everyone's still alive.
We're on a podcast too.
And there's no need to go any further. But it was really difficult. And I know that a lot of people know exactly what I'm what I'm hinting towards. So that's really, really difficult. It takes a lot of your resources. It takes a lot of your mind power. I have been completely zapped, burnt out, diminished to tears, confused. I call it dyslexic to my own being. Like I wouldn't even know, it's like, what's my name? What do I do? Who am I? I don't know, that place. And again, I know lots of people know this place too. So how did I get myself from the so down and out? I literally found it hard to get up to here we are leading an international company. And there's still challenges because lots of people always portray like, so it was really hard and I overcame the challenge and now you can do too.
Yeah,
and
you're like
my 5-step route.
Yeah.
Oh God. As life goes on. And so there's still challenges and I'm not hunky-dory every day.
Yeah.
Step one. The thing that has saved me and continues to save me, restore me, regenerate me, get me back up when I'm super down is, drum roll, please. Pleasure. Now, what do we mean by pleasure? I love how your eyes go like. And yes, sure, why not? Any form of pleasure.
Okay.
Sensual pleasure, sexual pleasure, pure joy, simple pleasure. You add any word.
Yeah.
Pleasure. So what happens when we experience pleasure?
We feel happy,
feels
excited.
Good.
Yeah, it feels good.
Yeah. Like super basic, feels good. What happens when I feel good? Do I have more energy or less?
Yeah, definitely more.
So it generates energy. Magic. I think it's really important to think about this because we often put pleasure last. It's a treat.
Yeah.
When you deserve it, you can have something that's pleasurable. It restores and generates energy. How exciting.
Yeah.
So feeling good gives me energy. Now, if I don't have any energy, what's the one thing I need? Energy. How many people are burnt out? Do you know how much burnout is costing the UK economy?
No.
Somewhere between 27 and 58 billion, according to different kind of data sources, and $322 billion worldwide. Burnout is a workplace phenomenon. It's not even a joke, this, I need more energy. People are kind of dying from lack of energy, from being finished.
Yeah.
Pleasure gives energy, people. Like it's, when you see it, they're like, oh, wait, what? It's not just sleeping. Sleeping is important, but pleasure. How do you know have you ever lost the will to live a little bit?
Yeah.
Or a lot?
Yeah.
Yes. Haven't we all? Mm-hmm. Most of us at some point have lost the will to live.
Absolutely.
How do you restore the will to live?
Most people take holidays, but that's not really the answer.
It's not the answer, but it still hints at something. Yeah. What do they do on holiday?
Take a break.
And do things that they enjoy.
Yes.
It's doing the things that they enjoy that gives you energy that actually does something for you. The problem is they go back to a life they hate. It zaps your energy.
Yeah, which is a whole different
it's the same. It's the other side of the same coin.
Yeah.
You have things that zap your energy. You have things that build your energy. Pleasure builds your energy. Do more of that. You will have more energy. Go. So that having discovered that, I mean, it's so funny, so simple, but it's a revolution.
Yeah.
I have flipped the script on this and I have rebuilt myself. I have regenerated my energy from complete to ta-da, using with pleasure. Yeah. So what does that mean? Let's be concrete. Well, so I like the pleasures of the body. I can do what I want with that. We don't need to talk about that here. But for example, for me, swimming and going to the sauna is like people say a luxury, a pleasure.
Yeah.
It gives me a lot of pleasure to sit in a sauna and then have a cold shower. I love it. I grew up this way. It's my thing.
Yeah.
Okay. So I then installed a ritual that Monday morning was start the week with pleasure. And this is disciplined. Okay, Rina?
Yeah. Okay.
I took myself to the spa first thing on a Monday morning.
I love that.
Shocking. I hope you can feel that also feels shocking to me. It's not like, I had nothing else to do. So do you know what? I'm just going to sit in the sauna because I can and I like it.
Yeah, because you have responsibility.
I signed up to that when I didn't have money.
Yeah, okay.
I had to go on benefits for a while. I was really down. And so to establish this practice was brave and daring. And I went like,
risky,
and I hope nobody finds out. No, I thought, I hope it works.
Yeah.
I hope it works. But I had a hunch that in order for me to make money again, for me to build my business again, for me to be the person I know I can be. I used to be Madonna. Like, hello.
Yeah,
Not I used to be Madonna, but I used to perform Madonna.
Exactly.
So I have an energy and a frequency that's really, really high. Like, surely it was so far from me. Anyway, how do I get back to that? I need to build myself somehow. So it was an investment in myself. It was a risk. It felt cheeky. It's discipline. I'm now saying that self-care is the greatest discipline. Self-love is the greatest discipline.
Love that.
Because it's not that easy to do.
It's so not.
Right?
Yeah, that's the last thing you do when you're going through a lot of things in your life.
Correct. And you've got these people that, oh my God, just love yourself. You've got to love yourself. And then you listen to that. If you're in the down and it's hard for you, like...
It's almost like toxic positivity, isn't it? Like you just think, I remember when I was going through a rough time, people would be like, well-meaning, say, oh, just meditate, just relax, breathe.
Just relax.
And it's just like, no, or just be positive. Like, no, I can't be positive. It doesn't actually made things worse.
Yes. Interesting, right? That you bring up toxic positivity. So it's not just be positive. It's not just... The whole idea we're talking about, even in pleasure, is about authenticity, about being real.
Yeah, I like that.
So allow yourself to be real. If you're not in the mood to go to the sauna, then by all means, you don't have to. I don't force myself, but I have a discipline. That's an interesting concept, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I do yoga. Do you do yoga? Are you into?
I used to do hot yoga.
I love hot yoga.
Yes, that's a challenge.
In the yoga tradition, they talk about go on your mat every day, no matter what.
Okay.
I'm not for it. So for me, discipline is not do it whatever, no matter what. It is do it, have it be your daily practice, and don't worry about it if you don't. And so I use a much gentler form of self-love is a discipline. Discipline is also love. It's a loving act to be disciplined.
Because when you hear the word discipline, you always think it's forced. Yes, exactly that sound.
Well, now some people like that, but that's that's a whole different chapter again. Again, if that's your pleasure, by all means, as long as it's consensual and so on and so forth. Disclaimers here.
Yeah, interesting.
So
I like that.
What about a gentler approach to discipline where it's not rigid, again, away from the oak into what's the bamboo discipline? Can I take myself to the sauna because I know it's good for me, even if I don't feel like it?
Yeah.
Or let's talk about diet. Lots of people want to lose weight and then they discipline themselves to eat only this. It never works, does it?
No.
But what does work is doing small things that are good for you that you enjoy. Right? So whatever that is for you right now, I'm on matcha.
Okay.
I'm on matcha.
I have to admit, I've not tried it.
Oh, it tastes disgusting. It's vile.
It's like, those people who think they like it don't like it. I love that.
Maybe, it's fine. So, I mean, I use coconut and maple syrup and I make it pleasurable and I make it nice.
Yeah.
And the idea is that kind of gentler form of caffeine helps you burn more. And with that energy that I get from that, I can do more exercise and then I feel good about myself. So how do you create a cycle, a virtuous cycle that lifts you up? Okay, so we're talking about pleasure into power. Can you see how with the increase of energy, you increase what I call personal power?
Yeah,
personal power is the ability to do what you said you wanted. Ooh.
Oh, I love that.
'Cause everybody-
that is some golden piece of.
Thank you.
Yes.
It's really important. Personal power is the ability to do what you said you wanted. Because I want to write a book.
You're proving to yourself, at the end of the day, you're proving to yourself that you can follow through for yourself.
How often have you failed?
Oh, loads of times.
Me too.
Absolutely. But those times that I have personally showed up for myself is where I hold the power. So that just speaks volumes to me personally, and I'm sure to whoever is watching or listening.
I really hope so. Because again, this is directly tied to, when we say resilience, it's directly tied to how much energy you have.
Absolutely.
So I have a model about your batteries, your inner batteries. When your inner battery is on green and you have energy, then it's much easier to do what you said you would. When your energy is depleted, yellow, start compromising zone. And on red, it's really hard to do. Going to the gym when you're on red. Hard, right? So when we talk about resilience, we often talk about withstanding, about staying strong. But what we need to talk about is the antidote to burnout, which is capacity, which is, again, regeneration of energy. That's what we need to talk about, not keeping the old. How do we renew our energy? Because we're getting zapped left, right, and center.
Yeah, I like that. I feel like that is a very challenging way to help us shift our mindset into that. And really, those of you who are watching and listening, what are you going to do this week to inject that pleasure-led activity in your life?
And so it's super simple, right? You can start with because it's so modern, and I'm like, modern. Hang on, I'm flicking my hair. Micro dosing on pleasure, if you must.
Yes. Yeah, no drugs here.
No drugs at all. Not necessary whatsoever. And you're talking to someone who is very, very free of that. So, but they have micro learning.
Yes.
And so everything's about micro.
Yeah.
So I'm all for a lot of pleasure, by all means. But if you said one thing you can start, and you don't want to add to your to-do list, that's not pleasurable for anyone.
That's true.
But what's fun?
Yeah.
What would bring joy? Let's say you have to do your admin this week, and you're listening to this and you're like, well, it's funny for Rena and Evelyne to talk about pleasure, but I have to do my admin and my accounts this week, so it'll have to wait till next week. And we're saying, no, but how could you inject some pleasure into accounting? Is it, in your case, a cup of your favorite tea, or your favorite coffee, or a biscuit that you usually don't have? It could be that simple. Or it could be to say, listen, I'm also going to have a sauna and spa break in the middle of my day because it's really going to help.
Yeah.
Or anything else. A nap. Reading a book. How about reading a book for pleasure? Like a fiction book.
Yeah. I mean, how many people do that? How many of you are reading books?
And I mean, or listening, but fiction. That was another revolution for me.
Yeah.
To stop reading just business and personal development books and actually just get a story.
Do you know what? That's really interesting, because I feel like I'm at that phase now where I've got a whole library of books just on that, business books, self-development, or resilience, whatever. Just because you want to invest in
better yourself,
yes. But then what about escaping that as well? So that's really, I like that point you made.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to do that.
Oh, and I want to challenge that so bad. May I?
Yeah, go on.
With love.
Yes, go on.
As people say that with love, and then they're like, dig in.
Yeah, it's like, why did you invite her on this podcast?
So the word escaping means that there's something you need to escape from. What if we built a life that's so pleasurable, so cool, so wonderful to live in that we don't want to escape from it?
Yeah, that's a very good point.
So what if the story isn't to escape, but to add to this beautiful life? How does that feel when you think about it this way?
Yeah, because it's you're not just focused on, I've got to be on the ball for work, for family, the home admin, life admin, and I need this to escape. It's like watching movies, isn't it? You're watching them for pleasure. So I like that. Why not add that to enhance your day?
And so you see, we watch movies for pleasure sometimes, and sometimes to numb out.
Yeah.
So it's good to ask ourselves, so what am I doing right now? Am I numbing out, or am I enjoying this?
Yeah.
And one can go into the other really quickly.
Yes,
like scrolling. Everybody says, oh, you're doom scrolling.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm scrolling for pleasure. I really enjoy all the comedy and there's some amazing content. And before I know it, it went into I zoned out, I numbed out. So if you want to ask yourself, what do you want to do this week? Maybe check, am I doing this intentionally with, am I enjoying this?
Yeah.
Or am I numbing, this is my face. Am I numbing out?
Yeah.
And again, I'm not even going to judge numbing out, by the way, but it's good to know what we're doing.
Yeah. Right, challenge accepted, guys.
All right.
Yeah, comments if you tell us if you do this. Right, moving on.
Oh, no.
From that,
It was so much fun.
I want to talk about identity shifts and reframing things, and I've got quite a lot of questions.
Oh,
I'm going
cool.
to refer to.
Okay.
So obviously you've told us this. You've reinvented yourself multiple times: performer, wife, single mother, coach, Madonna impersonator, so
Comedian.
much more. Comedian, performer. Oh my goodness, actress. She's got a good voice singing.
Yes, I'm a singer,
Yeah.
singer-songwriter. Mm-hmm.
So there's a saying, or some say that reinvention requires letting go of an old self or letting your old self die. Do you see it that way?
It's all about the sacrifice that you make to your art. No.
No. Okay.
No, let them all live and confuse you. No, okay, look, I just don't believe in this linear concept of in order to have a new version here, you let the old one die to this and then it's beautifully dramatic if we make a movie. Yeah, okay, whatever. Do old versions of you die? I don't think so.
Yeah.
No.
Maybe.
What I think what happens is they compost. they compost. So I believe in success as succession.
Okay.
It's a matter of succession. So we are developing, we're evolving, we're growing, and whatever you've done in the past becomes the fertilizing ground on which you grow in your present and future. I like to think about it this way more than, and then Madonna had to die to the coach.
Yeah.
And the art had to die to the commerce. That's tragic. What if it is fertilizing ground?
I like that, fertilizing. Yeah. Interesting.
That's why I said Madonna is relevant and she's still here. Would I be able to speak in the way I'm speaking to you now had I not been a comedian, a singer-songwriter,
Absolutely
Madonna?
not. No.
Okay, so some sort of being wacky enough and daring to expand oneself has led me to be able to think in those ways.
Yeah. And actually, I don't think we would be having this conversation, our paths would have crossed if that was the case, right? So
Yeah, we don't know. Who knows, right?
Well, I'm glad it did.
Yeah, thank you. Me too. It's super fun.
So I'm like friends with an incredible person now. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. I like that version of you.
And do I feel that I've died a few times? Yes.
Yeah.
Have you?
Yeah.
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 And so I think there's a little word on death.
Okay.
Inner death happens. And I don't think the goal is to avoid it. I met this wonderful person once when I was in a place where I felt like, my biggest secret was, you know what, I think I just want to die. And it's not something you're allowed to say out loud because it sounds suicidal. People get really, really worried. When really, often, it can mean that there's a part of you that is done and you're tired and you want to just let that go or let that compost and just put something to rest. Yeah. How is that?
Yeah.
And she said, yeah, that's great. That's really amazing. Why don't you go home and die a little? What? That was so revolutionary to me. So I went home and I lied on my bed face down and I just died. What I mean by that, I just lay down and just let myself like now I'm dead. I'm now dead. Okay, now how do I'm just like, and I let the world be finished at that point. And I have no idea how long that took. I just let everything inside myself like just. And that was a really powerful process. I know a lot of people don't dare to go there.
Yeah.
So they live on near death and it prolongs rather than just daring to die to that.
And then you come out evolved and then it just might make you just feel completely different because there are different versions of ourselves in our lifetime, right? So
but the resurrection story is a resurrection story for a reason. It's a beautiful metaphor as well. So you resurrect after that. However, I have to say, as a woman, I didn't take 3 days. I didn't have that kind of time. I'm a mum.
Yeah. You literally you probably had like 2 minutes in the toilet.
That's it.
Not even. Yeah.
No, we got like boom, boom, death, resurrection. 3 days in a cave. Who's got that kind of time, people? That luxury, space to yourself, everything. Okay, so do you see what I'm saying?
That, yeah.
I'm talking to dying. And I think we need to take a breath and a courageous breath to speak like this because mental health and mental well-being are really big and sensitive subjects.
Yeah.
And because there's so much taboo and fear around it, we often don't have the discussion, meaning then we don't develop the language and the culture around it, which keeps people really stuck for way too long.
Yeah.
And I'm really against unnecessary suffering.
Yeah.
So there.
Well, it's not pleasure.
It's definitely not pleasure. And not everything in life is. Okay.
No, of course.
So, and this is the shadow side of pleasure is to think that chocolate is okay every day because it's pleasure. Evelyne said it regenerates you. No, that's gonna make you big. That's not the same. Mm-hmm. So there's a difference between indulgence and having a pleasure-oriented mindset.
Yeah.
And there's a difference between evolving through the versions of you, letting them integrate as at compost, right? Using them as fertilizing ground to grow. And the idea of having to die to your old self in order to become what you were always meant to be.
Brilliant. This has been a really interesting conversation.
You can't make this end now.
No, we are running out of time. I know. I mean, our conversations go on, but because now I need to have time to ask you the wildcard question.
Okay.
You really have challenged our way of thinking about resilience, by the way, and I just love this, and I hope this will just pique everyone's interest in what you've done. So the episode really is about like that. Whetting people's appetite on this new concept. No ASMR here. Right, Evelyne, wildcard question. So the guest before leaves a question for my next guest. You don't know my last guest doesn't know who you are. And so they've put a question to you. You will also be able to get your turn. Revenge, but not on the previous guest, but on the new guest.
Revenge, forward revenge.
Forward revenge, yeah.
Pay it forward.
So you'll be able to ask any question you like. So think big. And guys, you know this by now because you're a few episodes in. Evelyne does not know what the question is. So here we go. Here's the wildcard question from our last guest. What is the best piece of advice you have ever been given? I'm really putting you on the spot because I didn't tell you this before.
spots.
Yeah.
The best piece of advice that you've ever been given. Well, thank goodness you have an editor because, I mean, there's like half an hour between that and my answer. You can put it all together like
12 minutes later.
Best piece of advice.
That is tough. We get advice given a lot.
But it's like advice or the thing that you took. Oh gosh, advice.
I think you can interpret it however you like.
Okay, so there's something around the piece of looking to your deathbed and then looking back at what mattered. And then to go like, did that matter? Like if you're in a challenging situation, was the thing that you're obsessing about? If you are obsessing about it, I would never. But is that the thing that mattered in the end?
I like that.
What is it that actually matters in the end? Because when I work with people, I want to make sure that we're building a life that you don't regret. And I see too many people living lives, they're like living regret.
Yes.
But this is the advice. So it's on me, right? So it's my advice and then you can use it on you and you can use it on you. Be the best Evelyne you can be. Like be the most Evelyne, not like be the most Evelyne you can ever be because this is your chance to be Evelyne. So by the end of your life, you know I've done Evelyne really well.
Yeah.
Like I've really milked Evelyne.
Yeah.
This is for me. It's not your... Nobody gets to milk Evelyne like Evelyne.
Yeah.
But like, really do you so much that you can happily say, I've done me. I'm okay to move on. That to me is solid.
I like that.
Solid advice.
Yeah. Perfect. I like your interpretation of that.
Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, that's a hard one. I don't know if I would be able to answer that on the spot. So well done.
Thanks.
Evelyne,
Yes.
It has been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for coming to the podcast.
She said pleasure.
Pleasure. Always a pleasure talking to you, like no jokes. Before we wrap up, would you be able to tell our guests, our viewers, our listeners where they can find more about you? And I'm sure if they Google you, they will, but we want them to reach you, Evelyne, executive coach Evelyne, not Madonna Evelyne.
It's all there.
Yeah.
It's all there.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for being with us. Thank you so much for having me here and asking brilliant questions and really coaxing out the fun and the pearls. So I have you to thank for that. And if anyone wants to dig deeper, find out more, maybe find out where you're sitting in your leadership. Are you more in the oak or in the bamboo leadership? I've developed a little quiz for that, for example. You can get that on evelynbrink.com/resilience. Now, the important thing is to spell Evelyne right. Evelyne.
Yes.
evelynbrink.com/resilience. If you want to find out more about my coaching, all on evelynbrink.com. I also write a muse letter with lots of provocative thinking and stories and ideas. I'd love to see you there. And I'm somebody who responds to real people. I'm a real person.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Now I'm going to pass the notebook to you. This is the Resilient by Design notebook. You write your question for our next guest, date it and sign it, and I will wrap up. And then, guys, you have to tune in. So here you go. I'm going to pass it to you. Guys, you're going to have to tune in to our next episode to see what question Evelyne has left our next guest. Well, I really hope you enjoyed today's episode and Evelyne has challenged your thinking. Until next time, keep on investing in your resilience.
Thank you.
Thank you. That was brilliant.
One moment. I am writing.
Ask your question.
Evelyne's question.
Yeah. Can't wait to see what you wrote. Oh, that's a long one. I like it. Thank you.
See if you can read it.
I like that. Ooh. That is going to challenge the next person. They're going to be like, what?
What do you mean, mask?
Yes, yeah. Lovely. Thank you so much. This is leaving your legacy behind on the podcast as well for the next person.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.